And the same token, we're talking speeding up. We found out, she found out Mick was a vampire in the second episode. I think half of us in here probably thought she wouldn't the entire first season.
Right, right. Well, that was the big debate. You know, a lot of people were like, you know, you have to wait till the end of the first season at least to do
but
that.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. Well, that was the, you know, and we're also like, you know, I mean, Ron and I talked. Ron was a firm believer that, you know, he didn't want his main character to be disingenuous and lie to this woman that he cared for and loved for a whole season, you know, and he just didn't. So.
I think that was probably one of my favorite parts because it was so different from any other show like that it revealed so fast, and it was a shock.
Right.
When it happened. She walked in and he's like, and we're like,
I was like, so screwed. He acted his ass off in that one.
Really fell off the cliff in love with Moonlight at that moment.
In episode 2 when
yes, because he was so vulnerable.
Right, right.
He acted his ass off.
Fantastic, it's hard to watch.
And then she walks out losing on the floor.
Thanks, I don't die. Well, that was the one thing. I think if anybody had a complaint, there was 2 complaints. One, what the hell did they say to each other after that? Because the next thing you know, she's knocking on the door. And the other one was at Fever. What the hell was said in that bathroom?
Now there's some fanfic, right?
Yeah.
Plenty. What happened?
Well, because she was out there with that look on her face.
The whole bar.
To be the next moment. Because what the hell does she do? She goes, oh, okay, bye.
Well, just have that look on her face when she
It's a commentary on our culture because
reality TV.
You know, ultimately, in my opinion, network television is going to be reality shows, dancing shows, CSI,
barking dogs.
And I think it really speaks to why the Moonlight was so popular in Europe and in other countries, because as a society we really want instant gratification and don't want to make the emotional commitment of really spending time with the characters. So, you know, and from my standpoint, and this is just your opinion on this, I mean, I kind of saw that ultimately Beth and Mick had to get together. I mean, it was almost becoming disingenuous because, you know, 2 adults who clearly had some chemistry ultimately are going to end up where they are. But I really saw it as the second season possibly being the shift to more procedural, but having them in the background. And I kind of see them, and I like more on the order of like a Pat and Mike, you know, like, you know, Spencer and Cat and Edward, you know, like where they're together, but they're constantly, you know, you know, and so I would be interested in hearing what you would think about that, or whether you thought maybe at some point it would become something like that.
Well, yeah, I don't know. There were certain complications initially that we didn't foresee. You know, for instance, like initially on first blush, her job and his job seemed like, you know, 2 peas in a pod. So like it was going to be great, but then we realized it's very difficult to figure out why she's in a place and he's in a place week after week and make those things dovetail in a way that doesn't seem like, you know, BS. And
well, the murder she wrote, I mean, you know, Justin Fletcher, I wouldn't want anywhere near me. She showed us in the dead body.
Lots of real experiences for her to write about.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You know, but yeah, I mean, it was sort of, we were just kind of figuring it out as we went. I mean, it's easier to tell a story when they're, I mean, at some point that somebody was like pushing just to have her become a detective in the agency. I was like, I don't think that sounds good, you know, I don't want that, but it certainly would be easier. They're always looking for ways to make it as easy as possible, you know, so if they were together and they did have the same line and trajectory, that would make the story. But then, yes, I mean, a lot of what was, you know, the love story would have been gone. It would have just been those 2 investigating cases, which
I didn't have any problem with them showing up because he was always there. He was always in the background. And he finally made his presence known to her, so I never had an issue with them showing up at the same crime scene because he's always been there, whether she knew it or not.
You were talking about I'm a law and order addict. Hi, I'm Cheryl, and I'm a law and order addict. But one of the that it was those discrete episodes, and it did do that. In the more recent episodes, they have brought in personal backstories. My favorite series is Criminal Intent, so Goran's mother,
what a
and
character.
his brother, and all of that stuff. So I don't think that, from my perspective, a show can stand alone without knowing what's going on in the background.
Right. Right. I think it's just the focus of, if it's a procedurally short, I mean, nobody wants to see a show where you just see talking heads, doing investigation. There has to be something, but, their priority is not getting into the lives of the characters, it was like we have to put some of the lives of the characters in order to make our procedural work, and whereas, the focus of, a show like Moonlight or Lost, I think is, it's about these characters, and we need something for them to be doing, it's just a kind of... I have, I'm younger, he's older, and, there are a lot of, things that, we bring to it that are different and we complement each other. Angels and Demons, supernatural, romantic thriller, female lead. Which is the game you did? Risa. Okay, well basically it's a twofold explanation. Basically, Risa and Coraline are both my ex, and they're also Dilevantes, who you know those. Yeah, well, I just I was sort of aware of that burlesque routine. I really like the retro. I think she's beautiful, and she just kind of looks sort of like femme fatale to me. So in my mind, the Coraline looks like Dilevantes, and the Risa character, I took her career because I thought Mick would be drawn to somebody from his age, this bygone time that he doesn't have access to anymore. So I took that and I put that in there, and then the emotional content was my ex, both, yeah. For was that no? I was aware of it. I keep meaning to go and see her perform. I'd like to go see. I know she does a lot of shows in Los Angeles. I haven't done it, but I've seen like things on television that she did, and so I just took that basic idea and that old romantic dream of what the Hollywood golden age was and that sort of thing, and put that in.
Okay, we may as well wrap it up. Time's up, and we need some time to set up.
So, what did you think about this weekend?
I thought I was knocked out. I had a lot of fun, and I think we did a lot of good, and it was good to see people come together and enjoy each other and help others.
What was your favorite part?
Favorite part was probably the auction, and I enjoyed doing the panel, the auction, and watching other people dance. And my least favorite part was when I had to dance.
Okay, thank you.